Hello everyone, dear friends. Today we are going to dive into a very special episode where an apparently small happiness turns into something capable of changing the life of an entire family. After so many months of storms, Ye, a noble and silent man, finally found a place in his heart he had always desired, the role of a father. A parents' meeting that seemed completely ordinary ended up illuminating his small home with laughter, with warmth, and with that joy that Maya, the innocent girl, had waited for so long. Join me until the end of today's video to fully feel this story full of tenderness, but also full of challenges. And don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the bell so you don't miss the next emotions in this very special journey. That afternoon, the sky still held some gray clouds from the morning rain. The wind passed through the pumpkin patch, dragging droplets that slid down every leaf. In the kitchen, Uyen was crouched, lighting the fire, when Maya came running in from the yard with her sandals soaked, splashing water everywhere. She was breathing hard, but her eyes shone as if she had discovered something very important. "Mom, the teacher said you have to go to Maya's parents' meeting tomorrow. Mom, remember." The girl's voice echoed inside the small kitchen like a little bell crossing the wooden doorframe. Uyen lifted her head, her hand paused over the box of matches. In a single second, her eyes reflected her worry. Tomorrow, she had an impossible shift to change. But Maya was there, with her round little eyes like 2 drops of water and her notebook clutched tightly, all her hope written on her childish face. Uyen swallowed her anxiety, wiped her hands on her apron, and crouched down to Maya's level. "Tomorrow, Mom has a shift. I might not make it to school on time," she whispered. "But don't be sad. If Mom can't go, I'll ask someone very important to go for Maya." Maya blinked several times. "Who, Mom? Who can go for Maya?" Uyen looked toward the yard. Under the eaves, Ye was sitting, fixing a wooden chair. The rain had stopped, but the floor was still wet. He was there with his hair damp from the misty air, polishing every edge of the chair as if it weren't just a chair, but something that deserved to be cared for with all delicacy. She murmured, almost in a whisper, "Papa Ye." Just hearing that, Maya burst into a smile up to her shoulders, jumping with excitement. "Yes, Maya loves it. Dad can go to the meeting, Mom. I want him to go." Seeing her daughter so happy, like a little bird, calmed her heart a bit. She stood up and walked to the eaves where he was still concentrated on his work. He looked up, and seeing her approach, his expression softened immediately. "Eng," she began with a small but sincere voice. "Eng, can you help me tomorrow? Can you go to the parents' meeting for Maya? I have a shift and won't be able to make it." Ye froze for a few seconds, as if frozen. Then, very slowly, his lips curved into a shy and warm smile. "Me go to the meeting? Do you really want that?" "Really?" nodded Uyen. "The teacher already knows you. Maya talks about you all the time." That smile wasn't that of a man being asked a small favor. It was the smile of someone who, for the first time, was receiving a sacred place, a place he had only been able to look at from afar for many years. Evening fell. The wind blew strongly between the bamboos. Little firefly lights twinkled in the garden. Maya was already asleep, hugging the old doll that he had repaired days before. In his room, Ye was preparing as if for a ceremony. The white shirt he only wore on truly important days, the gray vest he had kept since working as a bricklayer in the city, the pants he had sewn recently, everything he smoothed with his hands again and again. He stood in front of the mirror, trying on each outfit. He put it on, took it off, folded it carefully again. He adjusted the collar of his shirt, combed his hair, something he almost never did. He even practiced how to smile. "Yes, the girl is very good, teacher." Then he let out a little laugh because he looked too awkward. Uyen watched him from the door. What she felt in that instant was strange but warm, more affection than emotion. What are you doing? It looks like you're getting married," she teased. Yi scratched his head, red with embarrassment. "I just want to look presentable. If the other parents look at me, let them know that Maya has someone. I just don't want to seem too simple." Uyen approached and gently fixed his collar.
just being next to him. It doesn't matter if you're simple or elegant, the important thing is that Maya has you. In that moment, Yi looked at her without averting his eyes. He said nothing, but Uyin clearly understood. In front of her stood a man willing to do everything for his little home. The next morning, the schoolyard was full of carefully dressed parents, some with folders, others with jackets in hand. Everything looked very formal. Yi stood in front of the gate, clutching the invitation between his sweaty fingers, fearing he might enter the wrong room. When the teacher came out and saw him, she smiled immediately. "You are Maya's dad, right?" That simple question made Yi's heart pound hard like never before. His family had broken years ago, no one in a very long time that called him dad. He lowered his head and answered in a low but firm voice, Yes, I am Maya's dad." The teacher checked the notebook and spoke in a warm tone. "Maya is a very good girl, polite, organized, always brings her notebooks. She talks a lot about you. She says you work with wood, that you take the two of them to the market, that you fixed the roof so her mom wouldn't get wet." Yi's eyes moistened. He smiled, but the smile trembled. "Did she really say that?" The teacher nodded. "Yes, she says you love her a lot." Those words fell straight into his chest like a glowing ember that doesn't burn but warms from within. At home, Uyen had finished washing the vegetables, but still stood under the eaves looking toward the path. Every few minutes she lifted her gaze as if she could see through the entire street to the school. She wondered if he was nervous, if he had been able to say, "I am Maya's dad," without hesitating. A smile escaped her, a happy smile, trying to stay quiet. The sound of the old motorcycle entered through the alley. Maya was the first to hear it. She ran to the yard shouting, "Dad's back! Dad finished the meeting!" Yi hadn't even turned off the motorcycle when Maya was already hugging him. "What did the teacher say? Did Maya behave well?" He lifted her and spun her in the air as if she were a gift he brought from school. "Maya behaved very well. The teacher said you help your friends and that you're very polite." The girl hugged him tightly, shouting amid laughter, "Really? Yay, you're the best!" Uyin came out to the eaves with a little cloth in her hand. She looked at the two, the man in simple clothes and the girl hugging him, and felt a soft warmth spread through her chest. Yi set Maya on the ground and handed Uyin the meeting sheet. The teacher said Maya is her mom's pride. Then he lowered his voice a little, and also her dad's. Uyen stood still. Just one phrase, but a whole river moved inside her chest. "Thank you for doing it," whispered Yi. He smiled, scratching the back of his neck. "For Maya and for you too. This I can do." Maya hugged his neck again, shouting with her clear little voice, "Papa Yi is #1! Maya loves you!" And there, in the small yard, under the soft afternoon light, with the smell of the kitchen floating in the air, everything felt complete. The parents' meeting, which seemed something simple, became the day when Yi and Maya were together as a family. No one said anything more, but everyone understood. From that moment, Maya no longer just had a mom, she had a real dad, a dad she herself had chosen with all her heart. As evening fell, the daylight stretched in a golden strip over the narrow alley where the smell of wet earth still floated in the air. The sparrows returned to their nests, fluttering their wings in a copper-colored sky. From the alley entrance, a figure hid behind a bunch of bananas. It was Uyen's ex-mother-in-law, a thin woman with a worn gray sweater and hair disheveled by the wind. Her eyes were cold, but behind them was something hard to decipher. A bit of anger, a bit of sadness, and also fear. She stayed there for a long time, clutching the handlebar of her old bicycle as if she needed to hold on to keep from collapsing. From Uyen's house came clear laughter. It was Maya's laughter, Yi's warm voice, the sound of utensils clinking, and the fire crackling on the stove, all mixed like a familiar melody that warmed the heart. The woman narrowed her eyes, stepping back a half step. Her hand trembled again. she murmured with a voice stuck between jealousy and fear. That Yi, always messing everything up. If it weren't for him, maybe I would have already convinced Uyen. She bit her lip while peering through the banana leaves at the lit kitchen. There was Uyen peeling onions, Maya leaning on her shoulder, and Yi carefully drying the girl's wet hair with a soft towel. The woman's hand clenched so tightly that her veins stood out. She hadn't seen Uyen smile like that since the day she left her husband's house, but far from feeling relieved, something oppressed her chest. Every laugh that came from that house made her feel like her place was disappearing. She stepped back a bit more, her eyes shining with tension. If she's happy, if everything goes well, Maya will never return to her paternal family, and Uyen will also drift away from me forever. The wind from the field tousled her hair even more, but she didn't move, staring fixedly at the house, as if she wanted to pull Uyen out of that calm. In the yard, Maya was talking enthusiastically. "Papa Yi, come pick me up again tomorrow. You're my favorite in the world." Yi laughed and lifted the girl, giving her a spin in the air. That round, warm, full laughter reached the corner where the woman was hidden. In that instant, her gaze lost control for a second. Fear flooded her suddenly, like stagnant water after a storm. Fear of losing her granddaughter, fear of losing her place as a mother, fear that that man would occupy the spot her son had left empty. Why did it end like this?" she murmured through contained sobs. As long as Uyen had no one, I still had a chance to talk to her. But the laughter inside the house grew clearer and clearer, so clear that she had to cover her ears. She couldn't bear it anymore. Without looking again, she turned abruptly. With trembling hands, she grabbed her old bicycle, leaning against a palm trunk. The seat was worn, the chain dry, but she climbed on hurriedly, as if afraid that if she delayed 1 second, those happy laughs would catch her. She pedaled hard, the wheels screeching on the wet dirt. Her gaze was full of anxiety, confused, hurried. Moving away from the house, she murmured in a hoarse voice, "I have to find another way. I have to talk to her before it's too late. I can't let her form a new family without me." The wind hit her face, cold to the point of pain, but inside she was burning. Behind her, Uyen's house kept glowing in the sunset. The laughter continued, the warm voices continued, and those 3 people continued to become a complete family. And the woman understood, with silent pain, that with every turn of the wheel, she was left 1 step further behind.